Welcome back to Business and Politics. We're talking to architect Felino Palafox. Sir, let's talk about your profession. I mean, how is it faring these days? There's a lot of changes and disruption going on in many sectors. I'm wondering how it is affecting yours, especially with the advent of AI. Are you worried? Are you optimistic about the future of architecture?
There will be a lot of changes in the next 5 years.
Okay.
Because they say AI robots will even be more intelligent than humans. What I say is that, even experts say it, humans will be replaced by humans with AI.
Okay.
So, not AI replacing, and we're using it in our office. So we do a design, a plan for, just like even the clerk.
Right.
We did what we did as planners, architects.
We're talking about that. It's not what you submitted, but you, I think, had just for fun. Is that correct?
We
had AI do the same. Yeah.
And what AI did is not as good as what we did.
Okay.
What he did was, it removed the runways.
Okay.
And it made like helipads.
Okay.
Maybe 100 years from now, airplanes will be vertical landing. Then another project we have, another airport in Bulacan, we gave the same design criteria, our expectation, and higher capacity vehicles, priority walking, biking. They made a train in the middle of the street 5 stories high. Maybe 100 years from now, we'll have trains 5 stories high.
Right.
And the buildings, they removed the terraces, the garden, and the cars will put on the sidewalk. That's AI. So I said at Palafox, we have an integral ecology of people first, or social equity, job creation, poverty alleviation, then planet Earth and environment, then prosperity, profit, economic goals. I think AI can help there.
Okay.
But AI cannot help us in the culture, history, heritage, and interfaith spirituality.
Okay.
So you still
That's
have
a human factor.
Yeah, you still need the human intelligence, the moral values, and good conduct, good ethics.
So to rephrase it, you're not worried that AI will replace architects and urban planners in the future?
Yeah, we're preparing for it, and we're buying AI like cloud computing and so on.
Right.
And
you're harnessing it.
We have more computer programs than number of people.
I see. Wow.
Of course, there's a danger that we have 1,000 Palafox alumni now working all over the world.
I was going to ask about that, the outsourcing sector. Are there opportunities there that architectural services will be outsourced to Filipino designers? Is that already happening, or is that a possibility?
Yes, sir. We're doing that, but not outsourced, but we collaborate.
I see.
So our name is there also together with the foreign architects. But like BPOs, I think we can, the creative professions.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know how, for example, auditing firms have these international cooperations, like SGV with Ernst & Young and etc. Is that also happening with architecture?
I think it's
architects
happening
around the world?
I think smaller firms, they're doing that, but it can be enhanced and enlarged like BPO industry.
Okay.
The creative professions.
Right. Right. Are there dangers of architect shortage because maybe the good ones are pirated abroad? You were talking about your alumni; they're all over the world.
They're still working with us.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the time differences.
I see.
And not officially working, but they share with us that their latest technology.
Okay.
And sometimes they are like a third eye or be the constructive critics on what we're doing. And they do it freely,
right?
Paying back what they learn from us.
I see.
And we don't just train good followers; we also train good leaders.
Yeah. How do our architects fare compared to architects elsewhere in Asia? I mean, you've worked with, many different countries and many other governments. How do we fare compared to the others? Are we doing better? Are we about the same? Or
I think we should improve our architectural education.
Okay.
Even board exams.
Okay.
During our time, one day is just design. Use only pencil.
Okay.
Now it's multiple choice.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't design anymore. Multiple choice.
Now, for someone who's not an architect, what's the consequence of that?
It's over-dependence now on the computer.
I see.
And there are young architects who cannot draw.
I see.
Yeah. And in our office, we do still both. the manual and the
Okay.
computer.
Okay.
The computer enhances it.
Right.
And transportation planning, traffic engineering is very useful.
Okay.
Because before, like transportation plan, traffic engineering, you could do 3 to 5 alternatives. Now with AI and computer, you can have hundreds of logarithms.
Okay.
Then you choose.
Right.
So it really make it faster. Maybe our work with AI and technology, it reduced our timeline by 30%.
But do you think maybe they're also seeing something, as you said, we're talking about Clark earlier,
Yeah.
that when you asked your AI to design the Clark Airport, that it didn't have any runways in its design, only landing pads.
Landing pads.
Do you think maybe AI is a better predictor of what the future may look like? I mean, who knows,
Yeah.
right? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe too far in the future.
Okay.
Too far, maybe 500
Way beyond 2050?
Like I had a presentation talk yesterday at the AI Summit.
Okay.
We asked AI to do my speech.
Okay.
And
How did it go?
the agenda, it was too focused on me.
Okay.
Maybe he looked at my biodata.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we have to remove my too focus on me, project more and projects with AI, technology, and so on.
So you're not worried, because people in my field were worried because they're talking about artificial newscasters now, or newscasters developed by AI. So who knows who will be doing the interview in the future? But you're not worried that?
Yeah, I think you will be editing them better.
Okay.
Like you can ask AI, may I have a commencement speech
Okay.
a la Robert Frost?
Okay.
You decide Robert Frost, but
Right.
you can still inject your own style.
Right. Now you're talking about education a while ago. Or,
Yeah.
You said so. Do you need some reforms in the exam?
Education.
But what else?
Even education, because when we
Okay.
were students of architecture, our professors were practicing architects
I see.
based in Makati.
I see.
Because that time, UST or Diliman
Okay.
were 15 minutes only from Makati.
I see. No traffic.
So many of the professors now are not so much in practice, more in theory.
I see.
If I may share that, because I've been sharing in my talks with, and more practical. In fact, of course, we have thousands of applicants to be interns. We cannot accommodate all of them. But there's more interest now, even in second year college. They want to be interns. And we also have some parents that call me, can you accommodate them? You don't have to pay them. But of course, just to learn
Just
from
to
us.
expose them,
And
yeah.
we have had foreign interns already also.
I see.
From the UK, from Germany, from Italy, from Yale, from MIT, from Harvard, from Malaysia,
Wow.
Korea, India.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
they come to us, and of course we preference to Filipinos.
Right. Right.
And I ask them, why us? We're a small firm in a
Yeah.
developing country. And the students tell me it's their deans advising them to work with us.
I see.
Because if they go to the big firms in the US or Europe, they might stick to one specialization.
Right.
You're in the toilet division,
Right.
kitchen division.
Right.
But in our office, even young ones can talk to big clients.
To do everything. And
Yeah.
So what else needs to be done? Because the government now is looking at the educational system, right? But with regard to architecture, there's a lot of hopes for the creative industry. What should they consider
Yeah.
to make sure that we keep
Yeah.
on producing good
Yeah.
planners, good architects, good designers? What should they be looking
Even, sir, like ladder rise.
at? Okay.
Like, they're architects doing drafting work.
Okay.
Maybe a 2-year course on drafting,
I see.
a 2-year course on encoding,
Okay.
2-year course on the repetitive work.
Okay.
So the architects are more focused on the more creative side.
I see.
So 2 years and 5 years.
I see.
Yeah. And even many of my fellow graduates in 1972, because they migrated Canada, US, they were asked to study 2 years more. I was not required because I have a postgraduate in Harvard.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And other opportunities you think for Filipino creatives abroad? I mean, because the world is becoming smaller and
Yeah.
smaller these days, and of course, Filipino talent is well known. We don't hear about it in the past. Apparently, this
Yeah.
been going on. But
Our-
what's the future prospects? For
Our alumni are volunteering to be still part of our company.
that? Okay.
Like my daughter Karima.
Okay.
She's an urban planner educated in Oxford Brookes. She's now based in Sydney.
Oh, wow.
She was to be managing director of our office. She works 20 hours with us per week.
Wow.
So we have different perspectives. We have sales project also in Sydney. And she preferred to be based in Sydney, but still with us almost every day. But sir, that no more than 20 hours a week.
Well, do you share that optimism about the whole creative industry? I mean, can it really deliver? Because, in the past, government looked at, hard industries like steel,
Yes,
manufacturing, but now we're looking at
Yes, sir.
art, perform,
AI,
design,
creative,
and
yes.
a lot of
There's a lot of
seemingly
potential.
soft skills,
Yeah,
but
yes, sir.
they can be lucrative.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
Yeah, it can be. Training is very important. Maybe once now you can learn. There are lessons being given through virtual lessons from Harvard, MIT, and many universities in the world. And maybe I think it's also restricting foreign universities. More tie-up universities with universities in the US and Europe. They do that in the United Arab Emirates. Like you study in Oxford, you go to UAE. You study in Harvard or MIT, you go to UAE. They have that. But I think our laws restrict it. Maybe if you have a school tie up, your medical school tie up with Harvard Medical.
Yeah.
Maybe the architectural schools can tie up with Harvard Graduate School of Design, my alma mater.
Yeah.
And I go back there every time there's a crisis
Yeah.
to unlearn the mistakes of the past. And one thing about that, the other nationalities, they share their mistakes and learn from it. In our part of the world, people hide the mistakes.
Oh, you save face, right?
Yeah, save face.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, they show you their mistakes.
Yeah.
And everybody, and even my staffers, I tell them, after the project, of course we don't, how we could have done it better.
Okay.
Because sometimes we do 5 alternative designs.
Okay.
But the client choose not what we prefer, maybe cost considerations.
Right.
But yeah, I tell me, in fact, the visionary planner of Makati, Colonel Joseph R. McMaking, he was really the visionary for Makati. I saw him in hospital bed in San Francisco. You know what he told me? Listen, young man, if I give you a big eraser, how would you have done Makati better than we did?
Okay.
That's like an assignment. So I still have what's wrong with Makati.
Okay. Well, where do we start? But anyway, I think that might be another episode for Business and Politics. Well, Architect June, thank you very much
thank
for
you,
your
sir.
time. It's really enjoyable to talk to you. But before we go, maybe you'd like to leave our guests with some final thoughts?
Yes, our country is. I had the opportunity to change my passport 4 countries.
Okay.
I've been invited. But to me, we're so blessed. We are more blessed, and our blessings are more than our challenges.
Okay.
We know the solutions. We know the problems. We know the solutions better than foreign experts. But again,
Sometimes you
be-
don't listen.
yeah, I think we should work together for the betterment of the greater good. And let's address also, like we have advocacies. We don't just do practice architecture for business, commerce, and government. We have practiced architectural activism, architecture for the urban poor, architecture for infrastructure, philanthropic architecture, patriotic architecture. And I call this, I think 20%, 30% of our work is our advocacies. Like we discussed not just architecture, but the political environment. And one of my 8 courses in Harvard was the art of leadership. And our professors were architects, top architects in the world. They taught us about art of leadership, and they say the architects will be the leader, not just let's get out of our architectural box. And I tell my colleagues that's our psychic income, patriotic income, spiritual income.
Very well said. Architect June, again, thank you very much. I'd like to thank our viewers also watching this program live and those watching the replay. I'd like to thank Pastor Apollo Kibuloy for making this program possible. This has been Business and Politics, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much.
Very interesting, sir.